Good morning, guys, and welcome to iPunt Smart. Racing is from the Fairview Poly Track today, and it's an 8-race program starting at 12:25. The first race is pretty much a four-horse contest for me between Star Effect, Son of Zeus, Lord Marmite, and Dalil. Interesting to note here is Star Effect has done the course and distance, ran a nice second with a bat figure of 14.96 lengths when also Stallone 90 was taken on board. And from the Gavin Smith stable, but the preference for the Gavin Smith stable is Warren Kennedy. That's now also got gear change as far as blinkers and tongue ties being put on. Now, it looked like this one Fairview Poly run here was a bit of a prep run over the 1600, and with the best speed rating in the field, dropping to the 1400 might just be decent from a one draw. So Lord Marmite must be in it as well. The roughie for me with a value in this race is Son of Zeus. Job Visser's only got two for the day. This is a change of stables for Job Visser. Greg Zach is taking the ride, and the interesting part here is the Bat 42 run that was done on the 1400 Gravel Poly on the 12th of August when Ryan Munger was aboard. A 3.88 Bat 42 run does make it by far the best Bat 42 days bat figure in the field, in fact by almost 11 lengths. 11.08 lengths from Star Effect in second on the Bat 42 form. So those will be my first four in this race, followed by something like probably my fifth choice Red Bishop, and then Silver Senorita, only runner for Hickey Stradom with Luke Bester also taking the only ride. Maybe a slight chance for a back end of quartets. So I think only those four is more than enough for your bipod. Maybe the first three, even Star Effect, Son of Zeus, Lord Marmite, and Dalil. That could be anything from a little bit of improvement. Moving on to the second race, and second race here, a bit of a roughie for me to consider is Fool's Power, and that's at 16 to 1 or 25 to 1 at some places, and then Grazing in the Grass and Gold Rock with Pacific Duke. I think those four is your first four. For me, the value, like I said, False Power. And if you look at False Power here, the zero on the bat figures here on the 5th of July over the exact same course and distance, what I call Blue Bat, the 1600 Fairview Poly, was backed in from 4.5 to 3.57, did have the best bat figure on that day. Marco Ferenc takes the ride, and if you look at Marco Ferenc's book's got 100% win place jockey for the season, so a little bit of intent there for that. And yeah, that one run of a zero bat is only 1.03 lengths better than Grazing in the Grass. Grazing in the Grass also did a 2.92 on the bat figure, so that's more consistency from there. And maybe these two is more than enough for your bipod, 2 and 1, Grazing in the Grass and False Power. The others to consider for trifectas, Gold Rock. You can see the best bat figure of Gold Rock, 12.84, doesn't come any close to False Power's 7s and 6s and 7s and 5s here, or Grazing in the Grass 1 and 2 on his last two, or Pacific Duke on a 2.7 and a 3.4. So the only three that's really got a decent enough chance to win for me is Pacific Duke, Grazing in the Grass, and False Power, and then Gold Rock next best with Storm Commander in Capernaum, the 6th choice. 2, 1, 4, and 5, my first four past the post there. In the third, Maiden Plate, Fillies and Mares. Bit of an interesting race this for me because there's a lot of red bats in this race, and red bats means it's outside of the distance category of today, and in the case of the 2000 meters it means it's 400 meters out from today's, and that's why they're in red. So if I look at the red ones only, Joe Love's obviously now been the scratching, but if I look at Loretta Mia That is a 1600, very decent 9 bat figure, which is the best. That's why it's been circled, but it's also a red because it's 400 meters away from today's race. If it can do that over the 2000 meters, it's definitely in with a shout. And then the 2000 Fairview Poly of In Between Dreams of 24.13, the blue bat here. It's not very great, to be honest. So I'd almost be leaning towards each way value on Queen Louise here at 6-1. Does have the best adjusted time, and that is in green. So that's within the distance category. Does have the best speed rating, so it can come from a bit off the pace. Does have the one draw, and Zitzman and Ryan Munger did the double in race 1 and 2 the previous time you had Fairview Poly that we were on as well, the Bonanza one. That made us a lots of 0.24, 5 points for the Telegram group on that one race. 2 points at 10-1, I remember that was. So I would lean towards saying Queen Louise and In Between Dreams really has a decent shot here to win this race. And then Loretta Mia, question marks here for Sharon Kotzen and Luke McCotwa due to the best bat figures here, but they are in red, so we don't know if that can be reproduced over the 2000 meters. And then Our World, Warren Kennedy, the favorite. Yeah, he's the favorite. He comes from Kenilworth, but what I've seen from him from Kenilworth with our adjusted bat figures has not been all that great. Granted that he hasn't had the best of jockeys to ride him, in the sense of no disrespect to the jockeys, but just from a rankings in the country perspective, from Mbele and Bantam, and now he gets Warren Kennedy and he gets a stable change. The stable change happened a month ago already, because the last race was the 14th of August, so had the horse in a month and 6 days in care. There was a bit of support on the very last time it ran over the 1600 meters. Today he's trying the 2000 for the first time, so quite a lot of unknowns here for me. It's almost like the bat figures was better when it was lower as well. Look at the 1416, 1407, 1406, 1405. Then it went up to 1600 here, and the 5 turned into a bad 9. Then back to 14, it goes good again into a -4. Goes back to 1600, it goes worse, 0.1. 1600 goes worse, 5.6 again. And then these last two runs are 25 on the 14 and a 1600, 41. So it went backwards, to be quite honest. Yeah, the last two runs was also in soft going. And that's obviously why these adjusted time figures doesn't make a whole lot of nice reading, but 69.31 is a very bad adjusted time. And I wouldn't be surprised if the favorite can be beaten here by maybe either Queen Louise or In Between Dreams, the Gavin Smith stablemate, or Loretta Mia. Moving on to the fourth race. And here I'm looking at a potential double for John Nell in the fourth and fifth race, or maybe even just a place double. But I do have a lot of respect here for Palace Queen as well. So my first choice is Crystal Stream, my second choice is Palace Queen, and my third choice is Flying Thunder. Now, Crystal Stream has the best overall ranking, green points, exotic ranking. All of those looks pretty good, especially the 5 races on the probability stats. In other words, the 5 times we've rated Fairview Polytrack Distance 2000 Class D. Of those 5, the exotic ranking won in 3 out of 5, or 60% of the time, and that exotic ranking is owned by Crystal Stream. So that's something to note. Another thing to note for a very big outsider here is that Dancing Girl has the best bat curve, and bat curve also gets a 60% chance to win on those 5. So a bit of a roughie there for me from that perspective, in the form of number 11, Dancing Girl. Just from a probability perspective, doesn't have a whole lot going for it. It's all red here, but that red is not far away. It's only 4 lengths away from the best in Palace Queen. So could well surprise. Wasn't supported only time that I did the 2000, but that was on the grass, and it was drifting from 12 into 16 to 1, but it wasn't far off at only 3.6, and Munger is back. So, bit of question mark material, I'd say, on this Dancing Girl. But I'm going to stick with Crystal Stream, Flying Thunder, Palace Queen, and Respectable Miss as my first four in what I think could be a bit of a terrible race here. Sacred Ibis, the next best. Corsage with Cliffy Miller, potentially trying the double by now, is my sixth choice. On Guard with Tara Lang, potentially trying the double here, is my seventh choice. Then you also have Deep River Woman with Larina's only ride for the day, also for Tara Lang, with some question marks here on the gear change from Minkus and Tongue Tie to Alamites and Tongue Tie. So this race could definitely be a bit of a trap that I would be worried about. So I've gone wide, 3, 9, 7, 6, 10, and 5. And even then, I'm not all that confident about this race whatsoever. Moving on to the fifth race, and here we have an interesting runner in 25 to 1 Just Judy. Now Zitz and Ryan Munger yet again, and few things going for it. Best overall ranking, 25% chance to win from 16 appearances over the 1400 Class D. So that's 4 out of 16 times overall ranking one. And then 33% on exotic ranking, 31 on adjusted time, 25 on form, 33 on intent, 25 on total. So quite a bit for a 25 to 1 runner. And then the favorite is Lollapalooza, and that is 30% on opening betting, 1.11. Also has the best bet, 42 days, with almost 4 lengths to spare, better than Just Judy, and the two of them then having another 6 apart from the field over the bat 42. But there is some hidden form here from Karen Blixen. If you look at the bat 84 form, you'll see that the 2.4 here for Karen Blixen on the 23rd of July over the 1200 Fairview Poly is a bit of an interesting. Maybe the 1600 was too far the last time. So Ramzan comes back, takes the 2.5 kilos off the back, drops the 200 meters, which clearly didn't suit because he went from 3rd to 11th, and from a 2.4 bat to a 20.76 bat. A bit of value here in Karen Blixen, and a bit of value here in Perfect Angel, as well as in Just Judy. So I'd take all 4 of them, Just Judy, Perfect Angel, Lollapalooza, and Karen Blixen, into my equation. That would be my first 4 in this race. I think and I hope that that's enough. 4, 1, 7, and 3. Others to consider: 10, 6, and 5, which is I Love Mama, Manera, and Just Adore Her, which could be anything from a break. It hasn't run in the last 42 days and wasn't too bad on the 23rd of 7th July, 9.17 on the bat figure, so could be in for some improvement coming back, and is in the betting at 4.55. Moving on to the 6th race. And in the 6th race, you can see very little to choose on the bat figures here between the first 4. 1.99 on Mesmerizing Moon, 3.93 on Tiger and the Sun, 3.93 on Radiant Love, and 5.98 on Alpha Papa, which potentially has the best opportunity to improve. Interesting to note that it's got a flame here from Arrest. Now, what that would mean is the flame from Arrest, as you can see here, when it comes back from Arrest, its win and place percentage is above 70%. So that is definitely something to be considered. Alpha Papa, to try to have Alpha Papa in the mix, we would expect that to happen. Has been consistent 3rd, 1st, and 2nd on the last 3 times it's been running. Merit rating stayed around about there, 72, 72, 71, 71, 73, and now 73 again. Yeah, Luke Makotwa and Alpha Papa is not to be out of it. Against it, the draw, a 10 draw, not easy to overcome. So only got that rated as fourth because of that draw. And I'm going to go with Radiant Love with Smith and Kennedy as my first choice. Percentage is not all that high, the highest year being 26% for Greeny Points to win. And Curious, Jock Straderman and Andrews, 35% to win on form, 19% on intent, 32% on total. So Curious is another one to be quite curious about. Doesn't have the support on the bat figures, I have to admit. Doesn't have the support on the bomb roll, best average merit rating, adjusted lengths behind either. But does have a sort of a say, just purely based on the P-stats scenario here. So I've gone 5, 7, 4, and 6 for the bipod. Radiant Love, Mesmerizing Moon, Tiger in the Sun, and Alpha Papa. And then the 2 and the 9 is question marks for me, Curious and Atkinson Grimshaw, which does have the best median speed or pace. And it's not far out on the betting here either, so don't throw him out with Stallone. No, he's only got the 2 for the day, and these other one is a favourite in the first. I think it was in the second. Yeah, it's favourite in the first, Star Effect. So don't throw that out of your equation either. 5, 7, 4, 6, 2, 9. Hopefully we've got the quartet there. And then Travel in Style and Doppio Oreo would be my 2 next bests. We do have the quartets in most of these races. You can see the bipods here and the PA and the Pick 6 and the Jackpot and Jackpot 2. And you will find most of the top 4 in every race based on those numbers at the bottom there. Moving on to the 7th race. And Sharon Cotson does follow it up with Fly My Flag after Doppio Oreo. That does have that terrible draw to overcome. Yeah, you can see Doppio Oreo's got the best draw from a 6 based on what the percentages are saying. And the only one that's really got a positive draw from there. But I'm thinking Fly My Flag is a decent runner in this race, given that he's got the best overall ranking, the best greedy points, the best exotic ranking, the best form, the best statistical form, the best intentions as well. And then whatever next is a little bit of a question mark here. Only on his 6th run, has been gelded, and is returning from a bit of a rest. It's not all that hot, not all that cold with that little ice block there. Alan Greff and Greg Shane, but does have the best bat curve by quite a bit, 4.78 lengths, and didn't run all that well the last time, but did run very well before that. So 7, 9, 3, 2, and 1. Fly My Flag, whatever next. Stranger Danger, Aqua Delta, and What a Winner. Those would be my first 5. Number 8, the 6th choice, Nafer, with Craig Zaki at 18 to 1. And then we move to the very last of the day. And my first choice here will again be Alan Greff, Val Gardenia here, best overall ranking, best exotic ranking, best exact distance, median speed, best exact course, exact distance, bat CD figures. So Val Gardenia is my first choice, but followed closely by Catch the Cat, that does have the best bat figure by quite a bit, 6 lengths on his best form. He's only running on the 7th run today. And then Hot Marmalade, the Gavin Smith stablemate with Warren Kennedy, and a gear change as the 3rd choice. And Capulet's Heart, Cliffy Miller with Dennis Schwartz, has been running really well as 4th choice. English Princess, Itzman Oosthuizen and Ryan Munger with the gear change from Blinkers and Tongue Ties just to Tongue Ties, and also has the best bat curve as the 5th choice. And Lumiere, Ruffy at 40 to 1. That you can't underestimate, given he's got the best adjusted time, the best median speed, the best form, the best intentions, and the best total for a 40 to 1 Lumiere. So another one to consider in this race. That's it, guys. Hope you have a great day.